Okay, friends. So far you have watched, or at least I hope you have. And if you haven't, hit pause and go back and watch. What is search? Why organic search matters, and the metrics that matter the most. Okay, so watch those and then come to this blog or this video, and it's going to start to all click, I hope, because in this video I'm going to show you exactly how Google crawls and understands content on any page throughout the whole internet. And this is key, guys. This is key because remember, Google has this giant job of trying to understand the whole internet and match it to queries. And if we can tell Google in a quick and efficient and effective manner what our web page is all about, it will know how to match us with all of these queries. So if it understands like, oh, I know what this page is about, I know exactly who needs to see this page, it makes Google's life so much easier. So our goal is to make highly valuable content that answers our searchers' questions and make it easy for Google to get it. Okay, so let's go and look at an article, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how Google crawls sites. Okay, so let's kind of look at it in action. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned yet is Google has what they call a crawl budget for the amount of time that the Googlebot can crawl a website. So sometimes if it's not clear to Google what the page is all about, Google will have to read every single character on the page, and they can only crawl a limited number of pages during that session. But if we make it really easy for Google to understand what the page is all about, then Google can grasp that page and then move on. So they can crawl more pages they can understand more pages per crawl because they have a limited amount of time in the crawl budget. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so also be sure to download the quick guide for this because that outlines exactly the order in which Google crawls a page. So the first thing that Google does is it reads the SEO title, then it reads the page title, the one that everybody sees on the front end, and then it scrolls through and it looks for content that's big and bold and kind of a headline. And the idea here is if Google just reads these headlines, it understands what the page is all about. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through and you can see what these headlines are. We're not reading the small content. We're just reading the big headlines. And if you do, you understand that this page is about effective content. It's alternatives to blogging. There you go. Understanding Google's perspective. So I didn't read the article. I just read the headlines. Also the title. Okay, so that's how Google does it. It's SEO title, page title, big bold headlines. Then it goes back up and it reads the small content and it follows internal links internal and external links on the page to build a context for what this page is all about. And so we want to maximize all of these elements so that we can quickly tell Google what the heck we're talking about and where they should put us in their catalog of memory. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the SEO title. The SEO title is part of the metadata, and it is on the back end of the site. Users don't see it on the web page. It does appear up here in the tab of the browser, and it also appears as the link on the search results page. You can enter the SEO title if you're in WordPress, you enter it in the Yoast or the SEO plugin. In Squarespace, you put it in the SEO settings. It's search settings in Shopify. I'm going to have resources and tell you exactly where to put the SEO title when we get to the SEO title of the search party. But don't worry, you don't have to worry about it now. I just want you to start thinking about SEO titles. So the SEO title, and you can download this cool little plugin. It's called SEO Meta in one click. There it is. And it is a tool. It's a free Chrome plugin that tells you the SEO title of any page on the internet. So it's kind of fun if you want to sleuth around. So let's look at this one. This is a blog on my site. And the SEO title is, do you really need a blog? the truth about content and SEO, content marketing tips, and my brand name. So this is the SEO title. It's long. It's fine. I use the SEO title to tell Google exactly what I want this page to rank for. So I repeat the title, and then I add in a keyword that I want it to be ranking for, which is content marketing tips. And then I have the brand name. Now, that's my SEO title. It's just a little bit more juicy than the page title, which is, do you really need a blog? The truth about content and SEO. So if Google just looks at these two things, the SEO title and the page title, I want them to know that I want this to be about content marketing, SEO, and blogs. Boom. Those are the three things that I want them to understand. And then as it scrolls down, it's these headlines. Now, these are set as H2 headlines. This is the page title, and that is an H1. We only want one H1, so this is the page title. And then down here, these are just headlines that break up the content, because again, I want people to skim and scroll. I want them to be able to read the headlines that have keywords in them so that they understand what the content is all about. And it's just nice to kind of give feedback to users as they're scrolling through. So I love headlines. I use them generously throughout content, and it really is it's quite helpful. In my headlines, I'd like to use some good keywords so that Google understands, like Google's perspective on content. That's what I want. I also have lots of bullets in here. Again, thinking about the engagement rates, I want people just to quickly be able to scroll and spend time on the site. There you go. So Google crawls the headlines, and then it goes back up and it crawls the little content, the paragraph on the site. It also follows, let's go up here, there's one up here, in the links, because Google, the internet's a web. So if this page is linking to another page over here, Google looks at that context to kind of grow a better understanding of what this page is all about. So it after it scrolls the paragraph content, it goes and looks at the links to build a thorough understanding of what this page is all about. Once it understands the page, then Google will put it in its index. If Google crawls the page and doesn't really know what it's about, if it's not organized well, if Google had to read every character before it started to understand it, Google may not like it and it may not put it in its index. We don't have much control over that. All we can do is set it up in a way that makes it easy for Google, and Google should put it in its index, and it should understand what the page is all about so that you can get ranked for it. People can Google and find your page. So this is really helpful to when you think about building pages on your site, when you think about writing content on your site, whether it's blogs or podcasts or YouTube descriptions. Think about these things of how Google crawls it, because if you can just kind of scroll it quickly and understand what the page is all about, Google will too.